Okay, so sample space questions next then. We've got 2 bags, each containing counters that are equal in size, and bag 1 you've got counters 1, 2 and 3, and you can see it in the picture. So bag 1 we've got 1, 2 and 3, and bag 2 we've got 1, 2 and 4. A counter is drawn at random from bag 1 and a counter is drawn at random from bag 2. So you take in one counter from here and one counter from here. And then it says the two numbers are added together to give a score, and it's asking you to complete a table. So actually all of this information above is now irrelevant if we look at this picture here, because it's now given it here. So bag 1 you can see the 1, 2 and 3 here. So let me just change that. So here in bag 1 you can see you've got the 1, 2, 3 which you can see there. So actually we don't need it in 2 places. And bag 2, which is this side, we've got the 1, 2 and the 4. So the table is actually showing all the information above. So I'm now just going to zoom in so we can fill in the table. And it's the key thing was underlined, so they were added together. So if you picked the number 1 from bag 1 and the number 1 from bag 2, that would give you 1 plus 1, which is that 2 there. Now I'm going to have a look at a different example, the ones which are not completed. So if I pick this bag from number 1 and I get the 3, if I pick the 3 and the 1, because this is where they meet, the 3 meets the 1, 3 plus 1 is going to give us 4. So that means a 4 is going to be in that box there. I'm going to carry on. So if I get 1 and a 2, so 1 plus 2, I'm going to get 3. So that's going to be a 3 there. And then you just need to keep seeing where are they going to meet. So if I've got a bag 2 and a 2, 2 and a 2 make a 4, a 3 and a 2, 3 plus 2 make 5. Number 1 meets number 4, 1 plus 4, 5. Number 2 meets number 4, 2 plus 4, 6. Number 3, number 3 meets number 4, 3 plus 4 is 7. So that's it. The table is complete, and they're usually worth a good couple of marks, and then there's usually a question to go with it. So it says find the probability of scoring a 4. Now this is where it's a little bit harder. So firstly you just need to find out how many different ways can you score the number 4. So look in your table above, and it's only in this section here because these are all the possible outcomes when you do the add-in. How many ways can you get a 4? So we've got a 4 there and a 4 there. So there are 2 ways of getting a 4 out of the possible options. How many options there altogether? There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There were 9 in total. So the probability of scoring a 4 is 2 out of 9. Let's look at a second example. We've got 2 spinners, and he spins both spinners. His score is the 2 numbers multiplied together this time, which is crucial. So again we can see here we've got the multiply symbol here. So if we multiply them together and show all the possible scores. This time we've got nothing to help us, but we can follow the same procedure. So if I've got a score of nothing, nothing times 1, no, nothing times 1 is nothing. No ones are nothing. If I carry on with a 0 again, nothing times 3, no 3s are also nothing. And the final one on that row, nothing times 5 is also going to be nothing. I'm going to move on. This time if I pick the 2, 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3, that's where they meet, 2 times 3 is going to be 6. And, try again. 2 times 5 is going to be 10. I'm going to just move on to that final part. This time I'm starting with a 3, so 3 times 1, or 1 times 3, same thing, is 3. 3 times 3 is going to be 9. And then the final one, 3 times 5 is 15. So that's all the possible scores done. So that'll be worth 2 marks. And then we just need to have a look at any questions. Phil says the probability that gets an even score is a half. So our even numbers are 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, etc. So all of your even numbers are your 2 times table, and the one that people sometimes get a little bit confused with is 0. 0 is certainly not an odd number, therefore it's classified as an even number. So if we have a look at the question now, we know our even numbers. Phil says the probability of getting an even score is a half. Let's go and find all of our even numbers. So let's just quickly highlight them. So even, 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 even. We have 4 even numbers. So even is 4 out of the possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers that are there. Let's just change it up. So even is 4 out of 9, and 4 out of 9, explain why Phil is incorrect. Well, 4 out of 9 is not a half. And you can see the probability of an even number is 4 out of 9. So it's just proving it wrong. And then the final question, not going to actually do this one, but I'm just going to read the wording for it. Different sort of question. You've got a standard dice, so 2 dices with 1 to 6, and this time the question says the score is the difference this time between them. So I'm just going to run through a couple with that, and then you can see the process as we've just done in the last parts of the videos. So just pick a random position on the sample space diagram, and we want to think about the word different. So if I was going to go here with the number 3, on the first dice I get a 3, but on the second dice I get a 1. What is the difference between 3 and 1? So the difference you can think of as subtraction. 3 take away 1 is going to be 2. So 2 would be there. But the difference doesn't have to be just subtraction. It could be, what's the difference between 1 and 3? Well, somebody who's 1 year old and somebody who's 3, the age difference between those two is there are 2 years. So you can think about it as subtraction, or finding the difference is how much is in between. Because, for example, here, if somebody did what's the difference between 2 and 5, for example. So here, what's the difference between the 2 and 5? You can do, what are the numbers between? So between 2 and 5 there are 3 years. Or what's 5 take away 2? 3. So just watch out for those kind of questions. You can have questions which are add the numbers together, you can have questions which are multiply, you can have what is the difference. There are loads of different styles of questions with sample space.